CIA bribe exposed.
Mr. Reagan.
If you've not bought a Trump mugshot coffee mug or t-shirt, or 10 Trump mugshot coffee mugs or t-shirts, why not? There's somebody in your life that needs this mug right now. Get one at my Teespring. The link is in the description below. A CIA whistleblower has revealed that the CIA bribed analysts to dismiss the lab origin of COVID and instead to pretend that the virus came from bats.
A senior level officer claiming the agency offered hush money to analysts to cover up their findings that COVID-19 likely originated in a Wuhan, China lab.
Well, 2 congressional committees have uncovered evidence that 6 of the 7-member team concluded that it was most likely genetically engineered, but they were forced to change their conclusion.
Obtained by Fox News Digital say, quote, a CIA whistleblower told Congress that the agency offered officials on a team investigating COVID-19 origins, quote, significant monetary incentive to change their positions.
You know, sometimes I really don't understand how the news works. You know, some stories explode and some just die. Sure, people reported on this, but this is huge. This is another story that should be explosive. I'm not sure why there aren't like 60-minute style investigations into this right now. There should be like long form interviews. This story has just kind of come and gone. This was a big deal early on in the pandemic. Any of us who questioned the origin of COVID, we were all labeled crazy conspiracy theorists. And most Democrat voters, they still believe this to this very day. Here's Fauci talking about the origin of COVID right at the beginning of the outbreak.
Evolutionary virologists looked at the sequences there and the sequences in bats as they evolve. And the mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human. So, I mean, the paper will be available. I don't have the authors right now, but we can make that available too.
All right, now I'm going to get into the details of this story in one moment. First, of course, I have to sell you something. Do you want to take control of your financial future, but you don't know where to start? Noble Gold Investments understands. Investing in precious metals may sound confusing, but the team at Noble Gold Investments, they make it easy. Let's hear from some actual Noble Gold Investments customers. One customer says, the staff answered all my questions and helped me every step of the way. Another says, no pressure sales tactics, just honest guidance. And finally, securing my future is less stressful thanks to Noble Gold's expertise. So look, don't settle for financial uncertainty. They will suggest options and see if you can diversify into gold and silver. Right now, Noble Gold Investments is offering a free 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful bullion coin for qualified accounts. Don't settle for financial uncertainty. Noble Gold Investments has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews. Why wait? Go to noblegoldinvestments.com right now, noblegoldinvestments.com, the only gold company that I trust. All right, so this article comes from thedailymail.co.uk, and the headline is, CIA whistleblower claims agency bribed their own analysts to say COVID did not come from Wuhan. Bombshell Republican report exposes alleged virus origin cover-up. A CIA whistleblower has told Congress the agency bribed its own analysts to say that COVID-19 did not originate in a Wuhan lab. According to a veteran senior level serving agency officer, the CIA assigned 7 officers to a COVID discovery team. So they were trying to research this, trying to figure out where the virus came from. This is the CIA. Why is the CIA doing this? I presume to try to determine whether it was like a biological weapon. That's I think what they're trying to do there. Now, at the end of their investigation, 6 of the 7 believed that the intelligence pointed to a low confidence assessment that COVID-19 originated in a lab in Wuhan, China. So they figured it out. They knew it was like low confidence, but they had kind of figured it out, right? The 7th member, the most senior on the team, believed it evolved naturally. Did he believe it, or was he told to believe that? I'm not sure. The other 6 were given a significant monetary incentive to change their position, according to the whistleblower. The CIA ultimately refused to make an assessment, even with low confidence. Both hypotheses rely on significant assumptions or face challenges with conflicting reporting, according to the agency. The CIA denied engaging in bribery and said it would investigate all allegations. It's just kind of weird. So I looked into this a little bit, and this guy, this whistleblower, is very credible, as they say. But this is like a really weird thing to make up. right? Like this guy's job is probably on the line now. He's probably going to, be targeted by Democrats, by the administration. He's probably going to be destroyed. So it's a weird thing to come out with just for fun, like just to make it up. So this is absolutely 100% accurate. This guy would not have come out with this stuff otherwise. Republican Congressman Mike Turner and Brad Wenstrup, both from Ohio, who lead the intelligence on COVID committees respectively, wrote a letter to the CIA director, William Burns, on Tuesday demanding all documents on the matter. The lawmakers set a September 26th deadline for the CIA to turn over all records involving COVID discovery team and all communications with the FBI, State Department, Health and Human Services, and Energy Department about the matter. So I'm not sure when this video is going to come out, but this probably already happened. The deadline's probably already passed. So hopefully they have more information on this. These lawmakers threatened to slap the agencies with subpoenas if they don't comply. So if the CIA refuses to comply and to send them this information, which they probably will refuse because, it's the CIA, they're going to be slapped with subpoenas, which I love. Man, I would love to see some FBI and CIA guys and like other top level people in the federal government who are covering this stuff up, I almost swore there, go to prison. I want to see people go to prison. Okay, people are committing all kinds of crimes there. Our government is so unbelievably corrupt right now. I feel like we're living in like Venezuela or some crap. And nobody goes to prison. You know why corruption still exists in America? Because no one ever goes to prison. The Department of Energy, which oversees biological research labs in the U.S., concluded with low confidence in February of this year that the virus most likely did come from a lab in Wuhan. The FBI concluded the same with moderate confidence. 5 other intelligence bodies concluded that natural transmission, the theory of that the virus jumped from an animal to a human host, is more likely. Not true. U.S. officials have remained frustrated with China's stonewalling of their own efforts to get to the bottom of the virus origins. Now, they may never definitively conclude where it all started. Authorities in China destroyed some virus samples and used up others in research, U.S. officials say. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence released a declassified report in June that laid out their inconclusive findings. All agencies continue to assess that both a natural and laboratory-associated origin remain plausible hypotheses to explain the first human infection, the report said. Come on, let's be real here. As of this month, around 7 million people have died since the virus tore across the globe beginning in 2020. So concludes the article. Now, what's crazy about this is that the deep state operatives, the administrative state, permanent Washington, whatever you want to call these guys, for whatever reason, they really wanted to cover up this lab leak thing. And obviously, we need to know who wanted this covered up and why, because we cannot have powerful people in the federal government lying to us. The government is supposed to work for U.S. citizens. They're supposed to work for us, okay? And when they are working against us, we must hold them accountable. So obviously, this guy who bribed these analysts needs to be interrogated and I think probably charged with something. But what's even more important is discovering anybody else along the chain of command who was in on this deception. And I think we all know where that chain of command ends. It's with Anthony Fauci, because he's the one who authorized the gain-of-function research that is believed to have created the SARS-CoV-2 virus or whatever it's called. I can't remember. So if I were to guess, I think it's pretty likely that that Fauci initiated this aspect of the cover-up as well. But if he didn't, well, then there are others who had a motivation to do so also. And maybe because of influence from China. And if that's true, well, we certainly need to know that, because we can't have our public officials being influenced in this way by China. So this investigation is hugely important. But maybe the reason it's not made waves in the media is because the left has corruptly targeted Donald Trump and they're trying to keep him off the ballot in 2024 like some kind of third world banana republic totalitarian dictatorship. Or maybe it's because they are finally investigating Joe Biden for his corruption. And this is obviously something that's long due and it's created a massive impact. So maybe those are the reasons why people aren't talking about this so much in the media. But, it could also just be that people don't want to think too much about COVID anymore. And fair enough. I don't want to think about it anymore either. But you know what? We have to think about the deep state and we have to think about corruption within the CIA and the other 3-letter agencies. And investigating these folks and holding them accountable is critical. I honestly think that we need to start as conservatives digging out the criminals from Washington, D.C. And as I said earlier, putting them on trial properly. Conservative politicians have been so damn afraid for so long of looking like fascists that they've actually allowed corruption to thoroughly infect DC. But you know what? Investigating and arresting and trying to imprison people within the federal government who are actually corrupt, that's not fascistic. That's just protecting the integrity of the republic. Now, here's how you protect our great nation. Go to the description under this video, click on the merchandise link, and get yourself a few of those epic mugshot mugs and t-shirts. And if you don't want those, just get some Mr. Reagan stuff. Mr. Reagan swag, as we call it. All right, well, that's it for me. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below here. And remember, it's not that liberal friends are ignorant. It's just they know so much that is not so. Good night, guys.
Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy? The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket.